Hi again, it's Jason from Fraser Valley Rose Farm, and today I'm doing a review video on this, the Bluetti Apex 300 power station. Now this power station is a flexible, adaptable power need in case you need backup power or portable power. Now why would you take that advice from a guy like me who mainly grows roses and other plants? Well, it comes down to this. It's on my mind a lot because I need reliable backup power for a couple of non-negotiables. In the summer, I have my water pump out at the greenhouse, and that one there, if I lose it, I may actually lose plants for any duration. Because our power around here, I'm not going to say we're off-grid, but it is unreliable at times. I need to have that done, and that pump at the time of startup, can draw a fair bit of power. That's why something as robust as this could come in handy. Switch to winter, I need backup for my heated benches out in the greenhouse. Those need electricity. So the point of all of this is that even though my power needs, those ones that I need backup for, may be different than yours, and I can well imagine that for many viewers, you could be talking about something as important as medical devices, CPAP or dialysis, or you might be talking about portable power for a work site or for doing some video production. So all of your needs may be a little bit different, but this one here, because it's portable, because it's robust, and because it delivers the power that you want in different forms, it's quite a good solution for any of those things. Let's get a closer look at it. Let's get a close-up then. This is the Apex 300. That's the unit in the center here. Currently, I have set it silently charging, and I don't hear any noise coming from the battery right now, but I have it charging here, and you can see that it's about 62% charged here. And by moving it from silent mode to turbo mode, now I hear a little bit of a fan going on here, and it looks like it even at that point will take about 2 hours to fill up the charge in this battery. It holds quite a lot. It's 2.7 kilowatt hours. And I thought, how could I say in simple terms how much power that is? Well, if you were to run a refrigerator on this at an average of about 150 watts, that would be probably 18 hours. Other than that, it's a pretty simple setup here. You can see you can turn the AC power on by holding down this button here, and that gets it running these outlets here, and you can see that there's a switch here to run it at 120, which is sort of many of your regular appliances around, or up to 240, and that's what I'm going to switch it over to with my well pump. And it has other attachments on the other side there, different outputs. So if my plug doesn't look like this, I have other outputs on the other side of the box. Now you can see that it has no DC outlets here, no USB, for instance. So that's sort of like the main unit there. This is the additional battery, and that expands the capacity of this. Remember, it's 2.76 kilowatt hours for the main unit. This is an extra battery that doubles that capacity, so it brings it up to about 5.4 or 5.5 kilowatt hours. And you can see on there, actually, it has a USB spot there. So that's the only DC output on the main units. However, this is a DC kind of accessory kit, a DC hub. It has a DC output hub, and you can see on the front here that it can give you 12 volts at 10 amps or 24 volts at 5 amps or any combination of those things. And so if you were doing any serious charging, this has all of your USBs and other DC outputs on this hub here. Now that you've seen it up close, I am going to take it into the pump house and hook it up to my pump, but it's a bit loud in there, so I think I'll stay out here with you and just insert the video footage of it working and what kind of power it draws. And in the meantime, I wouldn't mind having a discussion with you about what makes this so suitable as a power backup solution, an uninterruptible power supply, so to speak. First of all, you can adjust the capacity of this. So if you wanted just the battery it comes with, that's pretty suitable for many low draw needs. But if you're running my greenhouse pump for any duration, you might want to have that expansion battery, or if you're running something even more intensive, you might want to have 2 or even the 3rd expansion battery on here. So that depends on your power needs, and that's fully adaptable. Second thing is that it has what is called sine wave emulation on the power out. So that sort of matches what your appliances are expecting to get from AC current and extends the life or protects the appliance appliances as you're using them. So that, I'm told, is an important thing, although I don't understand the technical end of it. The third thing I'll say is that it has like a 0 millisecond switchover. So there's no long delay on this. And I wouldn't mind telling you a story. As we were talking about BC Hydro, which is our local power company, had talked to us about installing power backup on the house. And long story short, they told us upon switchover, when power goes out, you're going to lose 10 or 15 seconds, which, you know, not such a big deal unless you have a device that's sensitive to shutdowns like that. And that just brought that to mind when I was talking about medical devices like CPAP or dialysis, or even computer systems that you might back up, that you don't really want that shut down first and then to come back up. This one does it without delay, which is good. So I'm going to plug this in between my grid power and my pump during the summer, and then in the winter I'll move it over by a greenhouse and I'll put it into backing up the heaters. In either case, there will be no delay. So if my heaters if we lose power, this is going to continue to power them immediately and not have them have to go through that cool down period after they get shut down unexpectedly, which is going to be good for my purpose there. Now, a quick comment here on the heaviness or portability of these power stations. They're not light. The fact is that if you're going to stick 2.7 kilowatt hours of batteries into a case like this, using a lithium iron phosphate battery, and that is really a great battery technology for temperature stability, safety, you know, power capacity. So they can't skimp on the battery itself, and they don't skimp on the heaviness and durability of the case either. Therefore, it's not easy to lug around. You definitely can move it as a one-person lift, and I've done that several times for this video, moving it from the house to charge to the pump house, and for various shots in this video. Currently I have it set it up in this cart here, which is maybe how I actually keep it, because I want to be able to move it back and forth to different projects around the yard. One thing that does make it nice and easy is that it's modular like this, so you can actually release the quick release from the main Apex 300 to the extra battery down below it and move them individually, and lifting them, of course, just takes a little bit of oomph. Because the Apex 300 is heavier and has a higher power holding capacity than your average small power station, it might not be the right thing if you were just heading to the park for the day and wanted something to run the radio or charge your phones. That all being said, it is appropriate for any size of other power needs, including something like, say, going to the farmer's market. I wish the vendors would use this instead of bringing along their generators to run their appliances. It would make the farmer's market experience a little more enjoyable. Now, all of that being said, the question on this, because it has a big power holding capacity, is would it be suitable for whole home power backup? And the answer to that is kind of yes. So you can take the Apex 300 and you can add on 3 expansion batteries, just like this one here, and that would bring this bank up to 11 kilowatt hours. 11 kilowatt hours might not be quite enough for you to run your home for an extended period of time, but then you can actually combine multiples of these banks. Now, I would leave it to you to look at whether buying this 11 kilowatt hours at a time and hooking them up in series and connecting to your house is comparable to other whole home power solutions. But the interesting thing about this is then you have these things being modular. You can detach a group of these and use them for your remote power needs, as well as hooking it back up to that bank for your whole home power. So it does give you a level of flexibility you might not have in the hard installed whole home power systems. All right, that's all I had to say about the Apex 300. I hope you found it helpful and useful in your consideration. If you have any questions, please drop those down into the questions below the video, and I'll see what I can do to help.